Hello everyone, it's been a while since I've posted. A lot of things have happened which I will clarify later down the road. But I wanted to talk about this recent event that occurred, the Itaewon tragedy. I took a week off of social media to really reflect and think about what's going on. At the same time, being updated with the news. And as I was listening to these reports, there was a lot of blaming here and there. No one's really taking responsibility, and it's quite sad. The Korean people, you could definitely feel it being very different. You could feel everyone just being, a lot of people being sad over this event, which everyone should be. At the same time, angry that it even occurred. So, with this information, I wanted to clarify some things or give light in some situations. To clarify, I wasn't there at the Itaewon event, but I did have close friends there. And the night out, they sent me videos, and I was in just pure shock at what occurred. And yeah, I'm not going to post any of them here. Also, there's a trigger warning, so if you do feel uncomfortable with the situation, by all means, you should close this video. But, to go into what's happening is a lot of people are just not taking responsibility. And I feel as if the more this goes on of no one really taking blame, everyone diffusing responsibility to someone else, that it's the people that suffered, it's going to be forgotten. We're going to be so tired of oh man, what's happening, the government being inefficient again, or the local police officers, and that it's going to be what actually occurred, that event will just be undermined. And so, there's a few things that, I would like to tell or clarify. Anyone who's been in Korea for the longest time will know, at least people who've been here for 2 to 3 years, foreigners, will know that on Halloween, the place to go is Itaewon. Hands down, this is almost like a universal thing, minus, children, but young adults and teenagers, if you ask them, what do we do on Halloween, or where do we go? Minus teenagers, where do we go? A lot of people will be saying Itaewon. People who've been here longer, I've been there a long time ago on a Halloween night. Do I go there now? Heck no. It's so crowded. It's as soon as you leave the subway, or even as you leave the subway, it's crowded. It's packed. And everyone knows. You go to a Korean, they would know. Oh, what do we do on Halloween? Oh, let's go to Itaewon. All the foreigners are there. Everyone dresses up. Everyone takes Halloween seriously there. And so just people are aware of it. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because there's a precedence. The government knows that this happens at this time of the month. There's always overcrowding. There's a lot of people, Korean and foreigner there. They know what's happening, what's going to happen. And it's kind of oh, nothing happened this year, so we'll just keep the same plan, keep it going. But you could tell it's dangerous. And so for them to be ill-prepared and just wait for something to occur and then act is, in my eyes, not something quote-unquote a leader or any sort of government body should do. They should try to be preemptive and go after the situation before it escalates. Another thing too is, I'm reading comments of oh, they were irresponsible, they were drinking, and so things like this occur. It's obviously not good, and at the end of the day, they're trying to take the blame away from those who are leaders over us and shifting it to the people. With that comment, I will respond with, if you go to, let's say, a playground or even a church, the environment was built in a way for you to, that's conducive to the activity. A church, worship, a playground, play. Itaewon, that street is filled with bars. And I'm not here to say drinking is wrong. I enjoy drinking. I'm just laying the facts that in that area, you're encouraged to drink. And to tell someone that, oh, yeah, they were drunk or they were irresponsible, it's just like that environment is one where it encourages people to drink, encourages people to be friendly, getting to know one another. And so to make that excuse is just ignoring the facts. And yeah, other thing you could speak about it on a more chemical perspective where, alcohol, what does it do? It inhibits. It inhibits your judging facilities. And so we're not there to make the best decisions. But at the same time, we should be comfortable in the fact that there is a body, a government that we pay taxes to, that will protect us or guide us in a better decision. And so those are some things that I wanted to address. And lastly, you could ask, like, why do I have this glass of water? I have this glass of water to demonstrate something. On the media, everyone, they talk about humans acting as a fluid. And it's like, oh, in that huge overcrowded situation, like, oh, we're a fluid. We act as a fluid. Well, what does that mean? It's not very clear to a lot of people. So I kind of want to demonstrate with this cup of water. So it's at the rim, basically, and I'm going to go a little bit more above, the rim. Oops. So I went a little bit too much. But what you can see here is the water has actually gone above the rim, and it's kind of staying intact. And how is that possible? There's a rim here. It should just overflow. But as you can, from what I can see, there's a little bit of extra. It goes above the rim a little, and the water is still together. That's due to hydrogen bonding, but think of it as the alleyway. There's a limit to how many people can go through it, but you can push people or get crowded in the sense that it will go over the capacity. And so in this situation, the water is over the capacity, but it's still together somehow, not spilling all over the place. And it's extremely dangerous because the moment you go over, it's going to just flood everywhere. And what we definitely needed that night, and what you can see here is the fluid has no control. Like, if you're in that circle, you have no way out. You basically lose your body movement, and you are left to just outside forces, people pushing from the outsides or whatever. And so what was actually what was definitely necessary was some guidance on how to get out. So if it's an overflowing, crowded situation like that, we definitely need a body or a government to lead us out. And so if you're to see this here, now the water has leveled off, it's lower than the rim, and it's being led safely. So, what's my message? This event was horrific. The fact that it could have been prevented really sucks. And that moving forward, I think someone else put it properly that Korea needs some more empathy. The people need to be a little bit more empathetic and actually do something to prevent future occurrences. And yeah, in this situation, we need to find a way to recover and make better decisions going forward. thank you for listening. This wasn't really scripted, and yeah, I'm not monetizing or anything of this. I just really felt the heartbreak that's going on here, and I wanted to send a message. Thank you very much for listening. Yeah, see you guys later.